What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here. We're about to solve this quadratic equation by graphing. And now we have a lead coefficient of 2. Woo! This can get tricky, baby. This can get tricky. All right, let's go for it. So first thing I'm going to do, let's write it in function notation here, and let's find our vertex. So to get my vertex, I'm going to have x equals the opposite of b, so positive 5 divided by 2 times a. Ooh, that's going to be 5 divided by 4. Oh, this seems terrible to graph by hand, right? This seems absolutely terrible. Well, perhaps we bust out that TI-84 graphing calculator. You know what I'm saying, baby? Yo, ro. So since I'm always strapped up with my TI-84, whether it's the real thing or a virtual one, I can go ahead and plug this in to my y equals, and I can plot it. So if I have 2 and then x squared minus 5x minus 3. Now, if I graph it, it may or may not be in the standard zoom. So what I often do when I haven't used my calculator in a little while or haven't graphed in a while, I hit zoom and then I go down to the standard, which is number 6. So you can hit 6 or you can arrow down and hit enter. And now I'm going to get that 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 window that we're very familiar with. So now I can see where it's crossing those where it's crossing the x-axis. Now, where is it exactly? Well, it looks like one of them is at 1, 2, 3. All right, but there is a way to know for sure. And the other one looks like it's between 0 and -1. So if I hit second and then calc, because I want to calculate something, right? It's second trace, which gives you that calculate function. What am I looking to find? I'm looking to find my zeros. So if I hit enter, it's going to give me that little cursor somewhere, right? Right at this spot here. Well, for left bound, if I'm trying to find this one that looks like it's between -1 and 0, I'm going to go to the left of that, which would be above it, hit enter, and then I'm going to go to the right of it, which would be below it, hit enter, and I'll hit one more time for guess. You can arrow close to it, or you can just hit enter on these. It's only in certain situations where you need to get really close to it to make sure that you get the right answer. Now here it says -0.5 or -1/2, comma 0. So one of our answers is x equals -1/2. Now let's get our other one. We did think that it was going to be 3, so we'll go ahead and take a look. So if I hit second once again, and I hit calc, I'll choose the 0 option, hit enter, and then I can arrow over, get close to it. Sometimes it takes a little while with these emulators. All right, I'll hit enter, I guess, and then I want to get my right bound. As long as I go to the right of it, I'll be okay. And there we are. So I'm going to hit enter now, and then I want to guess. I'll hit enter again, and it's going to give me 3, just as we expected. We thought it looked like it went through 3. It does give us x equals +3. So those are my two solutions. Now with that one that looked like it was at 3, there is kind of a shortcut method that I often like to use. If I hit second and then calc, you see the first option is value. If I've got a pretty good hunch that it's 3, I can just plug in 3 for x and see if my y value is 0. There it is. My y value is 0. I didn't have to go through that left, right, guess whole thing. Sometimes that can be a little bit when you're trying to arrow through and all that stuff. You could also do that with the other one if you're like, hey, maybe that's -1/2, or -0.5. You could go ahead and plug that in. It would give you the same thing. That's it for that one. That was pretty dope. Use that calculator when it's given to you, right? Always stay strapped. Always stay strapped. Yo, baby. You right? Yep, got that custom calculator back. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo!